Hey everybody, it's Julie from A Beautiful Horizon, and today I wanted to wrap up my Whole 30 series. I'm officially done with my Whole 30, and I wanted to kind of just let you know how all my reintroductions went and where I'm going from here. And so I took a few notes so I would remember kind of what I wanted to say. I did want to mention that I have a playlist below with all my Whole 30 videos if you're interested in watching it from start to finish. I know when I was going to do my Whole 30, I wanted to see what everybody had to say and what their thoughts were and how the process went and everything. So I kind of tried to do the same for whoever comes along after me and wants to do it and wants to hear somebody else's opinion as they're going through it. I didn't do a video a day like some people have, which I think is awesome. I was not able to do that. I kind of thought about doing it in the beginning, and then I realized that it was just not working for me. So I did about a video a week, and I have that link below. I also have a link for the book below if you want to buy the book, or you could borrow it from the library if your library has it. For me, I liked that I had access to some recipes, especially the sauces and stuff. And also accurate information, because sometimes you can read stuff about Whole 30 and it can come from a blog who read it from another blog who read it from another blog who heard about it from their sister, and it gets kind of jumbled and you're like, wait, what is this again? Is maple syrup okay? No, it's not Whole 30. I remember before I did Whole 30, I posted a picture of something on Instagram and it had maple syrup, and I was like, Whole 30, and because I thought that it was just eating whole foods for 30 days. I didn't realize there was the whole list of all the to do and to don't stuff behind it and everything, and somebody was like, that's not Whole 30. But the point is that some people post stuff and they don't really realize that it's not compliant with the idea of the Whole 30. So if you're interested in really knowing what it's all about, I would suggest getting the book, or I'll also put a link to their website, which has some information. So you can do it, really, you don't have to buy the book if you don't want to. You can just go off of what their website says, and they have some printables and stuff. So if you don't want to spend the money, or, you're not interested in having that resource, then you can just use their website, and on there, you're getting accurate information. Also, I have links, for what I ate on days 1, 2, and 3. And I will link that below, and those are on my website. And I also have other pictures on my Instagram. If you want to look and just kind of see what I was doing for inspiration, you can check that out. I'll link my Instagram below. It's at A Beautiful Horizon. I was posting a lot of the stuff that I was eating. And so basically, though, you're removing grains and legumes and dairy and any sweeteners and alcohol for 30 days. And for me, the alcohol wasn't hard, because I will drink if somebody brings alcohol to my house, or if I go to their house and they offer it. I'm totally cool with that. But I don't tend to buy it for myself, so it's not like it was a big deal for me. And then the legumes wasn't that hard, because I like hummus. I tend to make hummus, and I'll make beans and rice, or beans for taco salad or whatever. Peanut butter was kind of one that was kind of hard, because I tend to eat a lot of peanut butter, and for me, the normal switch would be to do almond butter, and I don't tend to do very well with almond butter. Almonds tend to make my legs itchy, which is kind of weird, but it's true. And I still eat some almonds, and I still do almond flour sometimes, and I still do almond butter sometimes, but I just kind of noticed that it's not and it's probably not good to be eating a ton of them anyway. But for me, I do have to limit my intake, so I kind of missed peanut butter, because I don't tend to have that reaction with peanut butter. I did make cashew butter one time, and that was fine. But the other ones were the dairy. I had already kind of eliminated dairy for a while, so that wasn't that hard. And the sweeteners was kind of I don't know that it was hard. You're still eating food, so it's not you're starving or anything, but it was kind of I missed honey, I missed syrup, I missed sucanat, which is a natural form of sugar that hasn't been stripped of, the molasses that's in the sugar. Still has that all in there. It's just dehydrated cane juice, or what, sugar cane juice. So I kind of missed those a little bit. And then the grains was like the biggest one I think that I missed, because I make a lot of like oatmeal and popcorn and rice. And those are like the main things that I use right now that are grains. So that was kind of like, okay, well, I have to be able to switch it out somehow for other things. So I did a lot of sweet potatoes and winter squashes, and then like carrots and that sort of thing. So I had enough of that kind of thing, because for me, I didn't want to lose weight. I'm already at like a weight that I'm happy with, and I just wanted to make sure I was getting enough carbs so I didn't have to worry about that. And so that was kind of like the challenging part for me, for the most part, was removing the grains. And so when I brought things back in, I feel like I was okay. I think when I did the legumes, like the beans and stuff, I think that some of this is going to be a little bit TMI, but I mean, that's just how it is. I felt like I had just like loose stools, but I think it was just like a lot of fiber from the black beans. I made black bean soup. And then I feel like my son kind of had a reaction to the peanut butter, I think. Because like the next couple of times he's had peanut butter, he's had like kind of a little bit of a diaper rash, and he's nursing. So I don't know if it was because like we kind of like removed it out of the house for the most part and switched almond butter for a while, and then we brought it back in. So that was kind of like an unexpected thing that I kind of realized that maybe he has a little bit of a sensitivity to peanuts. Not that it was like super extreme or anything, but just I think at that age they can kind of show a little bit of symptoms to peanuts. So that's kind of an interesting thing to learn that I wasn't expecting to learn from this. And then the grains, I liked bringing them back in because I really felt full, and it was like, it's easy to get full from grains, not so much from vegetables. And of course, like the meat too and everything. So I was eating plenty and everything, and it was good, but it just seems like grains is so easy to be like able to really make a meal quickly and feel full from it and not feel like you're hungry again a couple hours later. So with that, I think that for me, it depends how much of it I eat, not necessarily if I eat or don't eat it, but then you're going to feel full. And if you eat too much of it, you're going to feel bloated. And so I did get like a little bit of that, but I think if you just don't eat too much, then you're going to be fine. If you eat too much, you're going to feel bloated. And then with dairy, I think it depends kind of like what kind of dairy. Obviously, there's going to be kinds with lactose, without lactose, with the protein, without the, like there's like the different kinds of dairy. And some people are fine with like just butter. Some people are fine with just lactose-free dairy. Some are fine with all of it. I did realize that, with some of it, I did get a little more phlegmy. And so it's not like a huge deal, but it kind of is like a little bit of a symptom to be like, okay, well, sometimes I feel like just a little bit more phlegm when I eat dairy. So I don't think it's necessarily a reason for me to avoid it completely, but I don't necessarily need it all the time. So for whatever that is, there was a couple days, like it was after I had reintroduced basically everything, that I had headaches, and they were pretty bad. But I'm thinking that it was really more of the fact that I was baby wearing my son on my back, and just more like physical stress on my body, and just like my shoulders and my neck and everything, and then winding up having a headache from that. I don't really think it was anything that I ate. At least I didn't feel like I could pin it to anything necessarily. So, and then my husband also had headaches too, so I don't know. Maybe it was like lack of, not drinking enough water. Anyways, I didn't feel like I could really pin that to anything specific. So if you do the Whole30 and you get headaches after reintroduction and you can pin it down to something, let me know in the comments, because I'm always interested in learning. That's kind of like why I have my YouTube channel, is to kind of share what I'm learning with you, and you can share what you're learning with me, and that's super fun, right? I didn't get any like bad breakouts. I didn't feel like I was fatigued at all after eating anything specific. I did feel like I had potatoes again, and I do feel like my fingers hurt after I had potatoes. And I know I'm sensitive to tomato sauce too, like too much tomatoes. So I kind of like, is there like a nightshade thing where I just tend to like not do so well on nightshades? I know that is. And I said FODMAPs, I think, in my last video when I was talking about potatoes, and I meant nightshades, although they are a FODMAP too. But anyway, a potato is in the nightshade family, which is also has bell peppers and eggplant and different things like that. So I don't know, that's something worth like kind of looking into. And that was the point of me doing this whole 30. The point of me doing this whole 30 was to figure out maybe if I am sensitive to certain things. And it's interesting because there are some things that I thought might clear up when I did the whole 30 and they didn't. And then there were other things that, you know, I felt like I learned a lot about using more vegetables in my food in ways that I didn't think about using them before. So I'm definitely glad that I did it, and I would suggest, you know, that other people try it. I think that it's a learning process, and you can always learn something. So I would totally still tell people to try it if they, you know, researched it and thought that they were, you know, going to be good to do it. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't the magic bullet that it's going to be to like solve all your problems. And so moving forward, I think I'm basically just going to follow. I don't know everything that Michael Pollan says, but I have heard him say some things like his theory on eating food is to eat food, like real food, not like, you know, processed food, real food, not too much, you know, like really pay attention to when you're eating, and like give it that moment where you're paying attention to what you're doing. And yeah, I mean, sometimes I watch a movie and I have popcorn or something, but for the most part, I'd prefer to sit down and eat my food and really pay attention to what I'm doing and savor it. And really, your body works better when you pay attention to what you're doing and you're not just like mindlessly eating and doing other things and not even paying attention to what you're actually eating. So he says, eat food, not too much, and mostly plants. And that's like something that I want to do, is to eat more vegetables in more creative ways and still incorporate grains and legumes and dairy and sweeteners and alcohol too, you know, like, but, you know, eating things, paying attention to what I'm eating things that are good quality as much as I can, the best quality I can get, you know, and really making my food budget a priority as much as I can, and really enjoying like what I'm eating and not feel like I'm too stressed out about, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that, or having like a bunch of rules and stuff. And that's just me personally. Everybody's going to have their own, you know, way that they want to do things. But for me, I really want to be free in whatever I eat, to try to eat the best quality that I can, to really pay attention to, you know, put the time in it to make something that's really going to benefit my body and long term be, you know, good for me. And also just enjoy life and not feel like I'm stressed about, you know, what I'm eating or not eating. So that's kind of my plan going forward. Eat real food, not too much, mostly plants, and enjoy life, and, you know, have an ice cream every once in a while and have a drink every once in a while and just enjoy the company that I'm with and partake in the, you know, the good things of life, but mostly eat, you know, whole, real foods from scratch as much as possible, and the best quality that I can afford, you know, whenever at the time. So those are my thoughts, and I would love to hear from you if you're planning to do Whole30, if you've done it. If you have any questions, leave them below. This is kind of like my final Whole30 video, but if I get questions about things, I would love to do like a Q&A in the future. If you have some questions, just let me know, because I'm learning. I hope that you're here to learn. Please subscribe to my channel if you like learning about health and family and fitness and trying to be frugal and just living life. It's a beautiful horizon. And someday I'm going to do a video on like why I named my channel that, but basically, I mean, life is good. We're learning all the time. We're taking steps forward, and there's good things coming. So I will, I'll see you in my next video. I hope you subscribe so you can see that video. And there are good things on the horizon. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.